Hello guys, welcome back to the workshop. How are we doing? All well, I hope. I see the Brett and Razor show are in here already. Good on you lads, good on yous. Oh dear, well we've got a bit of rain again tonight. It's been pounding away on the tin roof above, so we might get a bit of noise through this one again, but we'll see how we go anyway. How's your day been lads, alright? Good? Somebody's been doing a lot of shopping by the sounds of things. Let me just get the chat up, eh? Let me get the chat up. Here we go. Yeah, I see Razor's been spending a bit of money again. He's bought another one of my brushes, and I was reading some posts on the Facebook page, the TAWSA, and on P&C, and it looks like you've been doing a bit of wheeling and dealing today, Razor, with your razors and stuff, eh? Grey Dog, how are you, buddy? Good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Wet in Canberra and freezing. Yeah, well, it's a bit cooler here tonight, obviously with the rain, but it's not cool. It was nice through the day today. I was at SES training all day today, so we had a full day from 8 o'clock this morning through till it was about mid-afternoon we got knocked off. But it was all about communications, using the radios and proper call signs and, you know, phonetic alphabet and all the other stuff. So my head's been in amongst it all day today, so this will be a bit more to relax me and to chill me tonight. As you can see, I've got the Lime Cocktail shaving brush here in the lathe all ready to go. I've just got a couple of questions I just want to check with you, Brett, before we get kicking off. And also, I do have all the chameleon blanks with the little bit of the holographic pigments in it as well. So you can let me know whether you want to see them now or you want to see them at the end. I'd probably say see them now, and then the end will be all about this brush. How does that sound? Okay, so we'll get started shortly. My wife just brought me out a nice cup of coffee to get ready. I've been out here getting the microphone set up and cameras set up and cleaning up, and I didn't get a chance to clean up until this afternoon when I come back. So that was my first job when I come back this afternoon, was to take the pups out for a little bit of a walk and then get myself changed and ready to come in here, and started cleaning up, and here we are. I had a bite of dinner just before I come back out and started finalising the stream and getting it up and running. Yes, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, yeah, all that stuff, yeah, all the good stuff. So yeah, it was pretty full on. I mean, it's not something that I've ever really done before. I mean, I've had radios in cars and four-wheel drives and stuff like that, but you don't tend to use those properly. You probably should, but you don't tend to use them properly. But these ones are all about close communications, where you're relaying back to a base, and then you've got open communications where you might have, you know, 12 teams in the field plus a base station or whatever, or a couple of base stations. And it's about how you communicate and, you know, how to do it and when not to do it and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, not something I've been involved in before, but yeah, it was quite interesting. Nothing too taxing, I guess, but it's just trying to take so much information in all at once, along with all the other training that I'm doing as well. So it keeps the all grey matter going, I suppose. That's one good thing. Okay. So I think we'll go with the reveal on the chameleon blanks first up then, eh? So we'll have a bit of a look at that. I'm very pleased with the way they've come out. I mean, they will look different again once they're turned, but I'm very, very pleased on how they've all turned out. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think there's a bad one in amongst them at this point in time. And bearing in mind that these ones have all been stabilised as well. So the barrel is stabilised, there's been no black acrylic paint being used on the barrel to separate the barrel from the casting itself. So now we've got casting which should actually be fused to the barrel, because the barrel is basically resin as well, basically. So should be nice and strong, but I still want to try and see if I can move away from always having a mix of acrylic and timber at the top. We'll have to see how it all pans out, but I'll have to keep a close eye on these ones. But these ones I think will be fantastic, because I think we're going to get that good bond. Some of these will have brushes in part barrel, part resin, but they won't have rhodium knots in them. So you know, the rhodium knots, it's only because, and there's nothing wrong with the rhodium knots, they're the best you can buy, in my opinion, at this point in time. But it's just that other knots won't expand with the same force as what these rhodiums do due to the density. So, you know. Anyway, let's have a quick look. So I'll bring them all over. First one first. This one here, and I'll change to the other camera shot. I'll change to camera 2, right? How's that? So this one here is going to be Razor's new one, and that's the back of the blank. So you can see this time I've managed to get it nice and square in the mould. I can't say the same for the top section and a little bit of the edge. This edge here was a little bit indented, whereas some of the other edges were perfectly square. You know, so pretty good all round. The top has changed a little bit just in the corners, but I was reading an article by a fella that put some information together on this, and he reckons with the epoxy, he heats his moulds, which I've never heard of that before, but he heats his moulds, and supposedly by heating the moulds, it actually stops this happening in the corners, and you end up with a bit squarer in the top of the blank as well. But he reckons it's to do with the heat prevents that. It's something to do with the way the resin pulls the heat, and he suggests that you know, by heating the mould, that it eliminates that. So anyway, this one here is going to be Razor's new one. Now, I mean, it looks different depending on which way you look at it. And again, I don't know if the cameras, I don't think the camera's actually going to pick up the colour shift in it. But there's quite a nice bit of colour shift. There's purple, there's gold, there's reds, there's a bit of blue, and then obviously we've got the holographic in there as well. Now the holographic looks quite, I mean, it's nowhere near as dense as any of these ones. That's why I only put a little amount in. I mean, you can still see through this one to the barrel, whereas these ones you can't really see through them. You can see things in the back of the handle, but you can't see really through the holographic pigments. These, because they've got a lot less in them, once I start to turn these away, we'll lose some of that heavier holographic, and we'll be left with the lighter stuff, and then the colour, obviously the chameleon colour in there. I just wished I could get that to show the colours. Just let me try go to camera 3 as well, and we'll see if we can maybe get, oh hang on, I haven't got all the lights on yet. Give me 2 seconds guys. Just give me another, I'll just turn these other lights on. The lights might have something to do with it. So you can see the gold, you can see there's a bit of purple there, a bit of red. So there's a few different colours in there, and then obviously you've got the, we put the teal in this one, the teal holographic. So I think that's going to come up quite nice. But again, it'll change once we start to turn it, because that's what happened with the last one that I done, erasers. But that's going to look absolutely lovely, I reckon. Here's another one. So again, the blank come out pretty good. There's a little bit of rounding off on this corner up top again. The bottom of it is pretty square all round. The corners are fairly square, so we got that pretty good. There's a little bit there, but not much. And a little bit there. This blank here on this end is perfect. So you'll see I've already marked these, getting them ready for turning. So I've just got the centre marks on them. And this one's got different colours in it again. So again, there's gold, there's purple, there's a bit of blue. And we put in this one, actually I can't remember what the holographic one we put in this one was, but it's slightly different. And again, just depending on how you look at it, you can see, obviously see there's not a lot of holographic in that. You can really see my finger through that blank. And the blanks aren't polished yet either. So I reckon they're going to come up quite nice. So that's that one. This one was the one with the grey in it, and I've obviously had different colours in it as well. And I think that had, I can't remember if that one was a silver, like a silver, I think that one was the silver holographic. And again, you can see the burl there, nice square corners, square bottom this time. Just a little bit in the corners, 3 of the corners up here. This one's not too bad. But yeah, quite nice. And like I said, they're all different, you know. Just can't get the colours. There's the rain on, guys. Just can't quite get the colours of the chameleon in the cameras, but once they're turned, they'll be really nice, I reckon. And then this one's showing a fair bit of colour actually. For some reason, I don't know why. This one's got the gold holographic in it. Might just turn up the, might just a tad, and I'll turn the music down. There we go. So yeah, this one's got a little bit more colour in the pigment, but then this is a higher, it's got a higher piece of burl in it, so I don't know whether that's because we're closer to the surface where we're looking in the clear. But that one's going to be quite stunning. You can see it there, a little bit of colour change. Try it on the other camera. A little bit of colour changing there. Okay. And then the last one was the green one. The one that we done that had this sort of electric green and the lighter green in it. And that's that one there, and we put the green holographic in that as well. And again, as you can see, it's quite transparent still, just with a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of the holographic in there. There's it from the top. So we've got the different colours of green in there with the green holographic. I think it's going to look quite nice. And again, this one was pretty square all round, except for that one little corner there on top. But like I said, most of the corners get turned off anyway, so it's not going to be a big deal. And you can see there's the burl, which is all being stabilised and then cast in the resin as well. So you can see the burl does go darker when it's being cast and stabilised, you know. But I think they're all going to look like stunning handles. But like I said, the majority of these will have my 2-band finest in them, or synthetics, which could be, you know, tuxedos, or I've got a few other synthetics there, and I've got more synthetic knots on the way as well. So I've just got a little bit more of a selection and a variety, and some synthetics coming in. So yeah, so I think they're going to look quite nice, lads. What do we reckon? What do we reckon so far? Yeah, they've got a little bit of sparkle in them. Like I said, it'll tone down a bit once we start shaping the handle, and basically what will be left will be closer to the chameleon, so we'll start to see more of the chameleon come through. We'll see more of the colours of the chameleon come through once we start shaping into that acrylic. The chameleon will be more closer to the surface and we'll get more of the colour change in that, I reckon. And then just having the holographic in there, a lot of it will be turned away, but there'll still be a fair bit of it in there without being too overpowering on the rest of the handle. So I'm hoping it will just add that little bit of interest to the handle. Yeah, the gold does pop a little bit in that other one. It's quite poppy, the gold, and so is the green. But they all are really. When you look at them closely and you see them, I put one up. I put that black one up that I done in the stream yesterday, my sneaky little stream that I done that you caught me out on. I put that black one up. I've done some photographs, but geez, I'll tell you what, it's really hard to get a photograph that shows that holographic material. And then I was standing there and I was looking at it in my hand, and it caught we've got little LED downlights in that front room, and the LED light caught it, and all of a sudden, all these colours popped out, and it was just the holographic, and there was reds and greens and blues, and you know, you name it, it was in there. And I thought, I'm going to take a shot of that. So I took my phone and just took a couple of snaps, and you can actually see in those photographs all the colours just popping straight out of the holographic. But you really need to see it. It's one that you can't. I tried hard to get a couple of decent photographs, and I just couldn't get decent photographs to show how the handle actually is and how it looks and how it changes in the different lights as well. So I think the chameleons and the holographics are going to be a bit like that. You're not really, it's not like looking at a handle that's got solid colour in it, you know, greens and blues and reds and whatever else. You can see the colours, you can see the swirl. With these ones, you've got to look into it. And like I said, the cameras don't tend to pick it up well at all. So I think they're going to make some really nice handles though. They'll be really interesting, but the problem's going to be is getting people to see them at their full potential, you know, like they really do look nice. But anyway, look, let's soldier on. I'm waffling away here and we're not getting any work done, are we? So yeah, but yeah, they do look nice. They do look very nice. Just catching up in the chat, guys. All good, so we're right to go then. So Brett, my questions to you, mate. The shape that you decided on this, is that the shape that you want to continue on with, mate? Just before I start, you quite happy with that shape? So, you know, the slightly downturned top with a slight curve in from the top of the handle down, and then we start into the green. We'll have the green forming the wider part of the band up here. We'll hollow in, and you want it to come down to the bottom, but you don't want to have too much of a round on the bottom. Is that correct, mate? Yeah? Or is there anything you would want to change in that shape? Because now's the chance to do it before we get cracking in it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pity the photographs weren't a little bit sharper and clearer, Razor, that I took, but I was just sort of trying to hold the brush and trying to, you know, take the photographs with my phone, and because my phone's the big iPhone, it's hard to get your fingers all around it, so it was a bit blurry, but you could see the colour pop in the holographic. So yeah, it was quite amazing actually when I saw it, and I just thought, Jesus, look at that, you know. Took a couple of pictures, but they weren't the best. No, mate, I mean, look, it's the shape that you want will be fine. I do like to see a little bit more round in the bottom, or even just a bevel in, like a couple of the other brushes that we've done just recently, where there's a bit of a bevel. So, you know, beveling in on the bottom like that, and then the curve in the handle comes down to meet that bevel. So the bevel being the widest part, you know, down lower on the handle. Let me go to this shot here. Let me go to camera 3, So what I'm saying is that we're right with the top. We've decided what we're going to have with the top, right? I've put a mark on here because that's another question that I need to ask you. So taking that blank from here to here, that blank's round about 79 to 80 mil, which is the same length as the previous handle that we've just done for you that's sitting on my desk inside. So I just wanted to know whether you wanted it to have a similar length to that one, which it'll work fine because I can leave this slightly bigger, and that will look fine in proportion. I do have your rhodium knot here as well. So that's your, just let me get that tailstock just back a tiny little bit more, take this out of the way. I've got your rhodium knot here, so that's your rhodium knot. Now the rhodium knot won't be set into the handle too deep. It's only probably going to be in there maybe 10, 12 mil into the handle. It's got a fairly small glue plug on it, as you can see in the photograph there. I've already roughed it all up, so that'll be going in to there, and it'll be in fairly shallow, and that'll give you a loft of round about, well, anywhere between 52 to 54 is what's suitable. So really, again, it depends on what sort of feel you like. Obviously, if we go lower, it'll be a little bit firmer, and if we go higher, it's still going to be firm. The rhodium knots are that dense, mate, it's still going to be firm. So, I mean, I was banking on maybe going round about the 53, 54. So again, if we're happy with that, bevel it and the length is good. Excellent. We're on our way then, guys. We're on our way. So let me just grab a little mouthful of my coffee before we get cracking. Now, notice that music's just up a little bit again. I may have batteries drop out on my microphone through this stream, so if they do, I'll try and keep an eye on that monitor in front of me. But if they do, just sing out in the chat as well, so that I can change the batteries. I've got some of my rechargeable batteries here which are fully charged now, and I'll just swap them over. The issue with that is I've got to do the one that's on me, and I've got to do the one that's behind on the headshot, the front on shot camera as well, because that's where I've got the other part of the wireless Rhodi link. So anyway, Thunderbirds a go, let's go. Okay, so I've already machined this face here, and obviously this was all machine faced as well, both the green and the black, and that's been bonded together, so you know, strong as a rock. We're just going to drill in here now for the hand, for the knot, sorry. So I'm just going to slow that down, probably about there. And what I'll do is I'll take this to camera 2. Okay, so I'm just going in a little bit there, set it on 0 again. We'll just bring it up till it touches, and then we'll go in. Now I'm only going to take this in at about 10 mil, and then I'll sit the knot in and we'll check it. I think the knot should go in. This is a 28 mil hole for a 27 mil knot. Try not to get it too hot. We'll give it a little breather. And go back in again because we haven't moved anything. Okay, so that's us in at 10. Just take that sharp edge off. Yeah, good on you. Just yell. Okay, so I just got your the rhodium knot here and a little plastic sleeve. So I'm just going to take that out, set that up there, and I'm just going to take that in there. And that's 53, but I think I might take it in just well, actually it's just over 53, but so I might take it in just another mil. So I'll set that on 0. That should do that there. We'll start her up. I mean, it's the shape of these knots too, I think they can go a little bit deeper, so just let me get that well out the way. Just checking the feel, feels okay there in the hole, that is. Yeah, we're sitting about 52.5. I reckon that'll do the job. So like I said, Sir-Jan recommends anywhere between sort of 52 to 54 loft for the 27 mils. So I think that'll be fine there. No, not a square one, mate. The other ones are in boxes. And I don't have enough round cylinders to put them in because there's loads of them. I've got loads and loads of stock of the tuxedos. I don't have a lot of stock of rhodiums. Obviously the cost is a factor. But I do have a few on hand. And I'm seriously thinking of doing myself up one because, believe it or not, I've tried the rhodiums. Sir-Jan sent up a couple of rhodiums for me to try. So I've tried them, but I don't have one myself. So I'm thinking I might do one for myself at some stage. Just so I can say I've got a rhodium, you know? And you guys can't rub it into me. We've got rhodiums, you've got nothing. You haven't got a rhodium. All right, let's get this show on the road, eh, lads? So we'll get that ready. I'm just going to bring the tool rest in a bit of an angle here because I just want to start the rounding of that top section. And yeah, that's probably all right there. We'll just speed her up a little bit, not too much. It's still a fair bit, you know, there's still a little bit out of round on this because, like I said, I machine face those pieces, separate pieces, and then I bond them together. So I don't get them absolutely 100% spot on, but I get them fairly close considering. And that's all trying to make sure that I don't get cyanoacrylic glue all over my hands as well at the same time. So So this stream will probably go for a while, guys. It'll probably go for, I'm expecting to be here sort of 2.5 hours, maybe a bit longer, depending. I mean, I've already lost, what, we're 33 minutes into the stream now. So just with me waffling on and showing you some blanks. I'm just going to check that round, see if I'm happy with that, where it's at. Yep, I think we'll just a little bit more there. And I think that'll do that now. We can always come back and refine a little bit more later anyway. So what I'm doing now is I'm just setting up. I'm going to start separating the black section. If I go to the head down shot, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to start separating the black section from the green section, and it will be the green section that will form the startings of the wider band at the top, and then we'll hollow into the handle. So nice and slowly to start with, till I find my mark, and probably pay us to put a little bit of support in there now as well. Yeah, I do need to get myself a rhodium. Definitely, it's a must, isn't it? I just want to make sure that I'm on that mark so that I don't go too far one way or the other. There's my friendly little possum jumping around in my roller door again. Oh, that was one thing. When I came in from SES training today, of course I'm inside and the wife was out, and anyway she came back in after I had dried the dishes and walked the dogs and come out here and started cleaning up, and she says to me, oh, she says, there was a hell of a bang earlier today. And I says, a hell of a bang. I says, I know the fella next door's been doing a bit of renovations on the house. I says, maybe you heard something from there. She says, oh, she says, it sounded closer. She says, it was a hell of a bang. Anyway, when I came out to the shed to clean up the shed, what it was, the bang was that all my timber on the storage racks at the side here, all the timber was knocked off. So my little possum mate up here had been up, must have been climbing and clambering all over my bloody timber, and he had knocked it all off the shelf. So I had to pick all that up before I could start even cleaning. So all I'm doing here, guys, like I said, I'm just defining and separating the black from the green so that I've got clear green on that wider band, and I'm just going to taper this black up to meet the curve at the top, and then we'll round it in and just sweeten it all in. So I'm going to go with my bigger tool just to take that little bumpiness out of that round. This is a stronger steel, it's a thicker steel, it's a stronger steel, and it's a bigger tool, so it sits a little bit firmer. Just till we get that into round, and I don't want to take this down in size too much. I want to keep it fairly wide so that there's plenty strength for the rhodium knot. Even although in the resin it's not a problem with the rhodiums in the resin. But I still want to give it plenty strength. Now I'll just bring the tool rest in a little bit closer because we're a little bit too far away. We've got too much steel overhanging the tool rest. And we're practically there now with the top section. And what I'll do here is I'll just go in and just touch that top of that green up a little bit now. And then I just want to round that little sharp edge there slightly, just take the corner off. And that's it. So we'll come back to camera 2 now. There's a little bit of chattering in there, but that's okay. That'll all sand out. It's not rough tooling marks or anything like that, so we're good with that. Okay, now we're going to just, I'd probably like to go in a little bit more with that there. So I might just give that another little touch. And then I'll just round that back again. And that's not too bad there now. So I'm just going to set my tool rest height off where we are now. I just want it to be above center because I'm going to go to the carbide now, and I want the carbide to cut reasonably smoothly. And I want to have good leverage on the back of the handle. Okay, so we might go to camera 3 now, and you'll see the shaping of the lower section. So I start with the tool the back of the handle down, as you can see in the little picture-in-picture. I keep that down. When I want to take a bigger cut, I lift that up, and the cutter goes down, and it will take more of a cut. So at the moment, I'm keeping it relatively down, and I'm just going to go in very lightly. I might be just a tad high with the tool rest. So you can see the difference in that, just that little adjustment with the tool rest there. Just dropping the tool rest down a little bit allowed me to get a better cut. And now I just work the cutting head down or up to take as much material as I want, and I control that by my hand at the back, and I'm keeping the tool tucked into my body as well. Okay, we'll clear the streamers away. Let me have a quick look. Talking about my possum. I'm going down to Bunnings tomorrow, and I'm going to buy a heap of mothballs. You know those smelly bloody mothball things? Supposedly, possums don't like the smell of them. So I'm going to throw a few mothballs in each of my roller doors here, and I'll throw a handful in each one, and hopefully that'll move them on somewhere else. Well, we'll see. I've had him here, he's been living in here, or whether it's the same one or a different one, but it's been in here for years, aye. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check, now that I've got that top section, sort of shaped to near enough where I want it, I'm just going to sit the knot in there again, and I'm just going to have a bit of a look and just see if everything's looking proportionally right. So that's the knot. That's the knot. Yeah, the top's looking okay. I'm thinking we could probably go in a little bit thinner here on the black section. This ring will get reduced down as well. I'm thinking we can probably go a little bit thinner in here. Obviously we'll still go thinner in here, and then we'll taper it down to the bottom here, and then I'll just put a little bit of a V in the bottom there, rather as a big round, because you like that. My first impressions at the moment looking at that top down is that the handle looks a little bit long, but that's really just a preference thing for you, Brett. If you really like a long handle, then we'll keep it at that size. If you think, you know, you're not overly concerned about the longer handle, then I can reduce that down. I mean, it's amazing what a difference, you know, it's amazing what a difference 5-10 mil makes, you know. Before I put too much pressure on that, we'll just get a little bit of support back. Bring that back. We'll just touch the green up as well now while we're here. Get that round. There's a tiny little mark there, so we'll get rid of that. Now I'm going to go back to a little bit more shaping, and we'll come back to that if we need to. I just want to get a better idea on the shape. we still need to go a little bit slimmer in here as well now, so okay. I'm going to take all the distractions out the way. Stop the lathe, we'll have another look. Yeah, I'm thinking the handle's too long. I'm thinking the handle looks a little bit too long, mate. Just for the loft of the knot, the size of the knot, and the size of the handle. Now just let me get the dust out of there. I'd reckon that second mark I've put on suits it better. I mean, I can make it whatever you think. Just let me check the size that we've got there. So to that mark, that second mark, this one here, the one I've just put on, to that mark to the top of the handle, we've got 72 millimeters. Whereas if I go right down to the first initial mark we had on, this one here, that's 80. Actually, it's 80, round about 81. I'm thinking the 70 is going to be better, mate. And what I'll do is I'll part that off to this side of that pencil line. Then I'll put a little V on it, and then we'll blend this curve into that V. So you've got a more of a that shape on the bottom, and then coming up into the curve, if that makes sense. Yeah, look, I think it'll be worth getting it to the right length, mate, because the handle's just going to look way too long for the proportions of the handle and the knot. The knot set it the loft that it should be set at, or thereabouts. So I think, yeah, I really think it's going to just, I'll just err on the side of caution and just go a little bit more that way to the pencil line. I'll drop this right down now because I'll go in with a parting tool and just set my mark. We'll speed it up. I'll leave it just a little bit longer than that. We'll see how that looks. I'll spend a bit of time on this, Brett, because I want to make sure that's right for you, mate. So we'll slow that right down, stop that. We'll sit the knot in. Yeah, that's going to be much better, mate. We'll stick with that, I think. I think if I go the other way, I don't think you'd like it. I think the whole, it looks too long and thin. So I think we'll stick with that, mate. It doesn't seem like a lot. It's not a lot, but it makes a difference in the shape, you know. I should put that tailstock back in again as well. I'll try and minimise this waste here as well, mate. And I'll send you this little offcut down if you want it. I think the offcut's going to be around maybe 25-30 mil. That should do that. Bring this up. That'll do that, I think. Just check the chart. Yeah, I think, I honestly think you can trust my judgment on that one there, mate. It was way too long. I mean, you can see the difference. It's not a lot. I mean, we've gone from basically from there to there, which is probably only about 6 or 7 mil I'd say. It's not even the 10 mil that I originally said. From there to there we've probably gone about 6-7 mil. But just the shape on the bottom and how we're going to blend this back into here, that overall size with the knot size and the shape and the style, I think it would have been way too long and slender looking. It just wouldn't have looked completely right, to be honest. So I think we've done the right thing, just reducing it just that little bit. And excuse me for looking over, guys, but I just want to have another little bit of a look at that. How do you hold your brush? Do you hold it with your fingertips around the bottom shape of the handle, or do you hold it in your hand, Brett? Tend to hold the brush with your fingertips in the bottom, or both, yeah, okay, well that's fine, you'll get both with this, but what I might do is I might hollow it a little bit more here and flare it out to meet that bevel we've put in the bottom, that's all. You're a lefty, eh? A good old lefty. My son's a lefty too. One of my sons, the other one's right-handed, but one of them's a lefty. What are you thinking of that shape there, Brett? I quite like that little flat face on there. So we've got the bevel on the bottom. I don't know if I can get that in any closer for you. So we've got the little bevel on the bottom. Then we've got a little flat here. And then we start the curve into the handle. Or would you rather I take that flat out? I think it looks quite good actually. Cool. All right. Geez, we're getting good with these cameras, aren't we? We've got zooms and everything on them now, mate. Yeah, I'm digging that. I'm loving that, guys. That is nice. I think that was just way too long. I think you'll be suitably impressed, Brett. I'll get rid of that over there for now. Okay, I'm just going to go through a little bit of sanding, guys. So here comes the monotony now. So you'll just have to bear with me for the next while. Probably going a little bit too fast. Probably still a little bit too fast. Yeah, well, I could see a few spirals in there already, so that's good that we didn't lose a lot of it in the turning. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Now that bottom shape will soften a little bit. I'm not going to keep them a sharp detail, but I'm just going to keep it so that you've got that, just that little bit of different shape in the bottom, that's all. Rather than being round, or rather than being sort of a sharpish edge softened up. And I want to keep the band, I want to keep that band there a bit thicker in this one. Some of the other ones I've done them a fair bit thinner, but I think it looks actually better with it slightly wider. Just defines it a bit more, I reckon. I give myself more work with all these detail parts, but it does make the brush just stand out a little bit more, you know, when you've got a little bit of different detail in there. Oh, the wet will be a little while away yet. We've still got bloody we've still got, there's a little mark in there I'm going to have to take out. Just a tiny mark, so I'm going to have to take it out. Won't take off any more than I need to. It's still there. That's it, it's gone. And I'll just reduce that one a little bit. Done. I'll just give that a little touch up, get rid of this again. Slow it down. Okay. Right, it'll be a nice brush to use in the summer, especially with a bit of menthol in it and in the soap, and it'll be a real refreshing colour. It looks looks pretty good, looks really refreshing. Better. We're getting closer to the wet, lads. We're getting closer. A couple of grits to go yet to this one. Once we hit it with that 1000 wet, just trying to keep those flat spots flat as much as I can, rather as rounding them over. I'm going to fold that over there just to get in to that detail. How we all going? Hanging in there? Was I sticking my head in the way again, was I? How about I stick yous over to that camera then? How's that? Aye? Rail's gone. Thanks for dropping in, mate. I'm just going to soften those corners up now, just a little bit. Don't want to do too much, just want to soften them. And this top corner here will get softened shortly as well, but I'll wait and do that with the wet and dries. So it's a little bit, probably a bit more softer again. And then I'm going to get my little paddy thing again, and we're just going to keep that flat, well, flattish. measure that waste piece for you, Brett. By the time we part that off, it's only going to be 27 mil, mate. When I part it off. Where are we up to? An hour and 30. Not that I'm watching the time, but some of you fellas might have work tomorrow. I don't want to be keeping you up all night. Right. The part you've been waiting for, the wet. So I'll turn the lathe right down, I'll start it up. Yeah, we're starting to see it coming to light now with the colours. All right, let me see if I can just clear that a little bit. Yeah, so we've got a fair bit of, we've got some sort of lime green in through there with a little touch of clear here and there. And then we've got the darker Kelly green in there as well. Little specks here and there, a couple of little spirally bits. But I've got to take a little bit more material off here, guys, sorry. I'm going to have to go in with the tool again. That top of that ring's just showing a little touch of black. So I need to clear that out so we get more of the green showing on that little top surface of that ring there. Could be green, you know. Could be green. Where's the wet? Take that away. Yeah, I think we got it. Put that right out of the way. Bring the water back in a bit, turn it down. Okay, we're going to the pads now. Is that one? I'll just give this one a little bit of sand by hand as well before I move to the next grit. Sand the flat. See, all these sharp edges soften off now with the wet, and I feel that's a better way of doing it because you don't lose as much detail as sanding it in the earlier stage, you know. Well, the rain's held off again. Hasn't really come to nothing at this point. I can hear a bit of movement out of my little possum mate. I like Grey Dog's response. That only works for the first 7, then what? Rami, how are you, mate? You been in there for a while, Rami, or you just dropped in? I didn't see you in there earlier. We're getting there, lads, we're getting there. Okay, in and out. Good stuff, mate, good stuff. Okay. I shouldn't whistle or hum tunes because I don't know what's playing in the background. I don't know what my little possum mate's doing up here, but he's making a hell of a noise. Okay. Still don't think you can see it 100% yet because it's still a little bit dullish. It's not fully polished up yet, but let's go to camera 3. And I'll maybe just try and zoom in a little bit closer for you. Don't know if that's going to pick it up. But you can see the green, and I think we'll keep going. We'll get it all turned around and we'll get it polished up. So we'll go from this chuck to the big chuck. And slow that right down. Get the bigger. And I'm thinking that'll do it. I'll bring this in. All right, we'll give it a little bit of support there. It's a little bit out of round, not too bad, a little bit. See it more when we speed it up. Trying to minimise the amount of waste off this one for you, mate. Just don't want to get a catch though. There we go. So that piece, yeah, about just over 27. Right, I just checked my tool height for the centre. That should be all right. Okay, so let me just have a look. So we've got the depth, I just need to smoothen it out a little bit. That'll do us. Slow it down. We'll go through the grits again. Sorry about my arm over the top there, lads. That a little bit of wet now. Boy, it looks nice when you look up through the bottom. Looks really nice when you look up through the bottom. I'll have to show you that, guys, before we stick a coin in it. But I'll get it all buffed up. Oh, I've got to make that decision now, don't we? Because we've got to put the coin in. You want a coin in it anyway, Brett, don't you? Let me change to camera 2. I don't know if that's going to capture it. Let me see if I can... No, it's not focusing on it. It's losing focus. Can you see the spiraling in the bottom there? You probably can't see it as good as I can see it when I look into the bottom. There's still a few scratches in there I need to get out. The spiraling in through the bottom is absolutely awesome. It really is pretty special. Oh, it's better to put the coin in now, Rami, while it's on the lathe, mate. Trying to recess it out to take the medallion in the bottom after, with a knot in it and everything, becomes a little bit hard. Mate, it's entirely up to you. I'll tell you what I'll try and do. I'll try and take it off the chuck so I can show you in the bottom. What the spiraling looks like through the bottom, if I can get it into camera and get it to focus on it properly. I mean, you should be able to see it there actually in that shot. But I'll try and get it straight on to the camera and show you what I'm seeing in the bottom. Bearing in mind that none of this is polished up yet. Okay, let me just take it off. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus on it. Doesn't want to focus, does it? There we go. There's still a few little scratches in there yet, but that's going to come out of with a buff. I'm still not polished up yet. No coin? No coin it is. All right, fellas. Now this was at Brett's suggestion. Just let me get myself sorted here. This was Brett's suggestion from the previous stream. So I'm going to turn my mic off now. I'm going to turn the volume up for you, and you can chat away and you can listen to a bit of music while I take Brett's handle and go and buff it, right? I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Okay, fellas. I've just gotten it all dusty again. What camera are we on? We're on that one. Come on, focus. Focus. Now, this might be the decision time to whether we put a coin in. You see those little marks in there? More so, Brett. You see those little marks, Brett? I can't get them out because what that is that's actually some of the swirls in the pigment, and it just looks like a. I mean, I've buffed it and buffed it and buffed it, but I've had this before. You can't get that out. See those little scratches more in the middle there? They're not scratches, the actual surface feels really flat, but what it is it's where the pigment is been, and it just puts like a line in the resin. Now, if you're not happy with that, I'm just trying to show you as many angles as I can. If you're not happy with that, then would be best putting the coin in. I mean, like I said, it's very smooth. You can only just barely feel it, but it's just where the pigment meets the surface of the resin. That's all. But the swirling in it, look at that. It's stunning. And there's a bit of, you can see the dark, it's not showing up as much in the camera, but there's a fair bit of dark green swirling in there, which is not, well, you can just see a bit there, but there's actually a lot more of that dark green in there, but for some reason the camera's not really picking that dark green up. There's a little bit more there, but there's more actually inside the handle, and it stands out more. It's just the camera's not picking it up that well. Now let me just sit the knot in it. Yeah, I'm thinking coin as well, because you don't want to see those marks in the bottom if you take a photograph. You know, if you take a photograph, I maybe have to zoom that camera out a bit. I mean, if you take a photograph of the brush after a shave or something like that, and it's not seated properly, but there you have it. Yeah, it's just one of those things when you mix pigments. I mean, you've got no control over, you know, once the resin and the pigments are put into the mold, you've got no control over what it does or where it shows, you know. But you typically always get that where you're mixing pigments in and you're using the pure pigment to try and create an effect. It can happen. I mean, sometimes it can happen on the side of the handle, and that's even worse. I'm looking around Brett's though, and there's nothing really on the side. There's a couple of little specks that come close to the surface, but there's nothing on the surface that causes a defect in the surface. I mean, that's not a defect in the bottom either. It's just the way it is. It's just where the pigment swirls come. But I'm thinking put a coin in it and get rid of that if you don't like that. I mean, it does look like a little bit of a defect. So you want a coin in it, mate? Silver coin. The antique silver. Antique silver it is. So we've got a little bit more work on the bottom now, guys, but that's all right, we'll get there. We're 2 hours and 26 and counting, but you know, it is what it is. These things happen. You don't see it until such times as you get to that point, and then you've got to make the decisions, you know. A lot of the time I've got to make that decision myself because I'm making them for guys that, you know, don't come online, don't see the videos and stuff like that. So then I've got to make the call on it and say whether I like it or not. If I'm not happy with it, I'll take it up with them because I don't like putting stuff out that's not right, you know. So I'm already set up with a 25. So we're going to go in. So slow it down. A little bit faster. Bring it in a bit. Lock it off. So now I'll set that on 0. Bring it in till it touches. There we go. You can just hear that tick, 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 and that's just it, just meeting the bottom of the handle. So now I'm just going to go in, nice and gently, nice and slowly. And that'll do me. Now let me just get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yeah, I'm going to tint the epoxy. I've got the, where are we? I've got the fluorescent lime here to mix in with the epoxy. I don't think it'll really need it, to be honest. I mean, looking in there now, it hasn't detracted from that at all. I mean, I can see it, but you can't. But even if I was putting epoxy in that now, I don't think you're going to see the coin. But I will put just a little touch in, just to be on the safe side. I'd rather be on the safe side, cautious side, than, you know, not. But I do have to sand this up again now, just to take that sharp edge off. So I'll just go with the finest grit and just put a little bit of a round on that, just to round it off. Take the sharp edge away. Which I've done there now. Let me have a look. So we'll give that a little bit of a wet. Okay. Now I haven't put any polish on these yet, so I might give them a bit of a polish up, and then I'll mix up a little bit of epoxy with a little bit of lime green, fluoro lime green tint in it. That should be all dry now. So I'll put my really fine stuff on first, then the fine stuff, and then the finer stuff. Should give it a shake first, I suppose, make sure it hasn't settled. But the green part is just like glass now. I was saying before, earlier in the stream, about the holographic ones that I've done, and about how hard it is to photograph and get them to show the full detail. Well, these are the same. These ones, you know, like when you're trying to show the swirl and the colour swirl, and a lot of the time the cameras just don't pick it up, eh? I might give you a look down on the head one as well, eh? Just so you can see a bit better what's happening. So turn the speed up a little bit now, and just work that polish in, let it do its stuff. It's a little bit out of round when I've re-chucked it, but it's not too bad. Doesn't affect nothing now, because I mean the handle was turned round, so just means it hasn't gone back in exactly the same position. I'll try my best when I'm finished the stream. I'll try my best to get some decent pictures, or better pictures, but like I said, it's very hard sometimes. And when I put them in the light tent as well, which, you know, is a sort of a bluey grey background, and I think the lights on the light tent tend to they take all the shine out as well, so I think we lose a certain amount. There's just a couple of bits that I'm not happy with on that there. Still looks like, it's hard to tell if it's tint or if it's black. No, I think it's tint. It's not black. It's definitely tint, I think. Anyway. You're starting to see that swirl and that shot a lot better now. there's the bottom. But like I said, I think when we set the coin in the bottom, I don't think you're going to see much of that anyway. Let me lock that in place. We'll bring this in. I'll get a little bit. Oh, I never put my. Sorry guys, I'm jumping the gun here. I never put my final polish on that. So I'm going to go again with a little bit of my Plastex. I never put Plastex on it. Because it's a proper acrylic polish as well, so I want to make sure we get that on there. It just puts that little bit more shine in. Yeah, I mean it works well on there. I just use a like with my ones. What I do is I just put a little bit of Plastex on the handle like I'm doing now, and then I just have a microfiber cloth, and then I just buff it by hand, sort of twisting the handle in my hand, and it's amazing how it brings them up with a bit of shine, a bit more shine than what they have. Once you use them a fair few times. It's amazing the difference it can make to them. So yeah, it's worth doing it on your other brushes as well, mate. Definitely. I've been using that Plastex for years now. Never had an issue with it. It's always good. Lasts well. You don't need a lot. Just very, very small amounts. I mean, I probably overdo it when I do these, but I probably don't need anywhere near as much as what I put on, but it doesn't hurt it. You can see the shine in that now. I mean, it's just crystal clear. There you go. Look at that. Look at the swirls in that. Let me go to the other camera now. Camera 2. And let me see if I can zoom in on that. Yeah, it's not very good from that angle, but you can see how shiny and clear it is now. You'll see it once I get it finished and off the lathe. We get the coin set in it, so we'll do that now, eh? That's it, had its polish. Just trying to give you different viewpoints. See, you're seeing the darker green in there a bit more this time, where we couldn't see it the last time. Anyway, let's get that coin in, eh? Just going to go and grab a mixing stick, guys. So we have that. We have antique silver. Yeah, you're not even going to see the coin, Brett, but I will put a little bit of green tint in it just to be on the safe side. So we'll get a little bit of epoxy. And I can still use that epoxy in the top as well under the brush. I mean, it makes no difference in there because that's black, the top section. So even although it's got a little bit of green in it, it's not going to have any impact on the handle at all. So we can mix it in with the grain. Look at how green that is, lads. That's the lime, that's the fluoro lime green that was put in there with that. And this is just the liquid, it's just really, really runny, aye. So I'll go to the head down shot now, and I'll just show you. I mean, that was just a little bit of that pigment on the brush, on the paddle pop stick, and you can see how green it's gone already. And that was only just what was left on the stick after it drained off back into the bottle. Okay. Just check before I do go any further, make sure everything was good. We're happy there with everything. Yep, all good. Here goes, fellas. I'll try and do that there, keep it in shot if I can. I may need to move around, but we'll see how we go. So all I'm doing is making sure the entire bottom's covered, pushing the glue in. It's nice and rough in there, so the glue gets a good bond to the base of the hole, the recess. And all I'm doing now is I'm pushing a little bit of glue out to the sides without trying to get too much out there. Like I say, I don't mind if we get a little bit oozing out, because at least then I know that you know, that I've got enough glue in there. So now we're just going to take the coin and just slide her over, drop her in. And you can see very, very slightly, but it's not out keeping of the brush, to be honest. So I've got a little bit of ooze out around the coin, so I will get a clean towel and a bit of methylated spirits, and we'll give that a good wipe out before it starts to set. Which reminds me, I need to get another bottle of methylated spirits. So yeah, the coin's floating around in there a little bit at the moment, but that'll start to settle. I just need to make sure that we've got, you know, no harsh amount of excess in there that's gonna spoil anything. And we'll just roll the towel over again to a clean spot, or clean air spot. Sorry I'm out of the picture, guys. You can see me in the little picture-in-picture, but I've just got to make sure I work this to make sure we get it all out at this stage. There was a fair bit of ooze out, so I don't want to have anything sitting there that's not been cleaned off. So that's pretty good at this point. So I might think about setting the knot, and then we'll come back and give this another check, another wipe if need be. Okay, so just do the same again now. We're just going to drop it in the center. We're going to push it out. Now we don't have a big deep recess in here, so fairly important to get the right amount of glue in. So all I'm doing is pushing a bit up the sides, making sure we've got an even coverage over the base. And then I'll put a little bit on the bottom of the knot. Just so we get I already done the base of the knot. I had that ready to go. But Surgeons are pretty good. I don't know what type of glue it is, but I mean it's an epoxy of some fashion, but it's not like other epoxies that I've seen when it dries off in there. So yeah, it's a little bit different. And that's me just seating that now and just making sure we're working the glue into the knot. So I grab the bristles fairly firmly and just gently move the whole entire knot in the handle, just to make sure that we're seating it in and bedding it in properly. Lovely. So we can get rid of that. We'll keep that one up there for now. We'll get another clean towel. And we're almost there, lads. Almost ready to show you this little beauty. Aye? So, just going to check around the top there. There's a little tiny little bit there. I'm going to make sure to get that away. Make sure the knot is seated. Check the coin. It's actually looking pretty good now, and it's stuck now, it's not moving. So we'll just make sure we've got it well and truly clean. Get it down into that little recess around the coin. Just a tiny little bit just at the edge of the knot here. And there we are, guys. I'll give this another little bit of a hand polish later. She's got all my grubby finger marks all over her. We'll get rid of that. And I'll sit that there for just a second, and we'll clear this up so I can show you this little baby. Get rid of that, put the lid on the meths. Get rid of that. I'm surprised my batteries have held up so long. I thought the batteries might have gone dead on me, because this is I think the second or maybe close to third stream using the set of batteries that are changed over. So they seem to have lasted not too bad this time compared to the first time. But now I've got the rechargeables anyway. So all right, fellas, let me get back to a decent shot where you can see what's going on, eh? Here we are. How's that looking, proportion wise? Now if I go to camera 2, there she be. Coin in the bottom. We're still seeing that spiraling around the edge of the medallion, the coin. And then when we sort of take it that way, you can see the colour and the spiraling. But I think we picked up better in camera 3 the last time with the spiraling. Let me try and get it in the picture where it can be seen. Just trying to show you all the colour, and you can sort of see the coin, but it doesn't. It just looks like the base of the handle. It doesn't detract from the handle at all. As you can see there, if I point it out to you, right there, that's the edge of the coin you're seeing, but it's constant all the way around the handle. Obviously where you get the smokier swirls, it disappears a little bit more, but it doesn't detract from the handle at all. You don't see it looking in that way. Then obviously, you know, you see it there okay, but it doesn't detract from the handle at all, mate. So I'm pretty pleased with that. proportion wise, I'm glad we shortened the handle. If anything, we could have maybe just gone a tiny touch longer, but it's more in proportion now than what it was with the 80mm handle. So, and that handle's actually measuring up now, guys, at, if I just check that, we're actually measuring up at round about 72 and a bit, 72 and a half for the length of the handle. So it's still a long handle, not getting away from that, it's still a long handle, but proportion wise it looks a lot better. Okay, so let me just have a quick checky in here. Yeah, you're going to love this Rhodium Knot, mate. They are just the bee's knees, honestly. I mean, I could stand here all night just just stroking it and feeling the bristles, mate. It's so dense. Let me just take you to that. Let me take you to that shot there. I might have to take it down to get it in focus a bit. Look at how dense that knot is. And those tips will hook over and gel like nobody's business. You know, once it's wet and used a few times, it will take a few times, but those tips will just soften right up. They'll hook and gel. They're just absolutely amazing, mate. They really are. So I think you're going to absolutely love it, mate. Anyway, that's it done, fellas. That's me for the night. I'm going to pack up. I'll clean up tomorrow, and I'll see you again probably on, what's this, Sunday night? It'll be Tuesday night again before I can get on again. I haven't worked out yet what I'm going to do. I do want to get some of these chameleon ones done, and I do want to get razors ones started fairly quickly now, and get that underway. So I mean, it should be something pretty special, I reckon, once we hack into that. There's a lot of gold and reddy colour in there. It's just absolutely stunning. You can see it probably more through from the side here. Look at the gold in there, look, and up in here. So it's probably going to be a little bit different colour to your previous one, razor. I mean, it's just the way it is with the chameleon. There's still blue. I can still see tinges of blue and red and gold, and oh mate, it's going to be nice. It's going to be a beauty, and so will the others, I reckon. So anyway, I'm looking forward to getting this going. So I may even, if I get a chance through the week, I may try and get this one. I've got to turn a tenon on that so I can hold it in the chuck and get it round. And then once I get it round, then I can put it on the lathe here the way I do my brushes, and we can get it underway with that. I'm actually seeing colour in the holographic change as well. So I'm hoping that the amount of holographic that's in there is just going to be enough just to put a difference in it, you know. But anyway, enough of me waffling on again. That's your offcut there, Brett. That's what you'll be getting sent with your other one, along with a couple of other bits of the other green one that you got in your first handle, mate. So I'll send you a couple of bits of that. I'll have a look and see if I've got any offcuts of the other one that we done. But if not, I'll send you what I can send you, mate. Okay. See how you go. I mean, it is something that I could do, but like I said, there's a lot of complications with regards to different razor sizes and all that sort of thing. And some blanks, I don't get a lot of waste off them. This one was probably, you know, I did cast this deliberately longer with the black on it. The black is a separate section and glued together, so it was a long handle to start with. But we've made a long handle too, so obviously that reduces the amount of waste. So anyway, but I'll throw a few bits and pieces together for you, mate. I'll send you the details for these brushes when I get a chance, probably tomorrow or something, mate. Tonight if I get a chance, but it'll probably be tomorrow. No rush, we'll sort it out anyway. And razor, I'll get your other one I'm holding on to until we get your one done, so that's all good as well. No problems there. So once again, guys, thanks for dropping in the chat. I'm not going to throw up my subscribe button, but if there is anybody in the chat, in the stream that's not subscribed, if you can please subscribe down here, I believe it is. If you can please subscribe down here, click the little bell button and you'll be notified of any videos that I post up or when I go live the next time. It just you know, just helps you, I guess, and you can watch if you've got the time to watch, and if you haven't, at least you're notified there's a video up and you can watch it at your leisure and when you've got the time. Anyway guys, thank you very much. We'll see you next time. I'm shutting the shed door down, and we'll catch you on Tuesday. All right, so I'll get my screen up. I'm a little bit trying to do everything here, but I'll get my screen up, and the weekend's over, guys. Unfortunately, I can't help you there, but have a great week. And like I said, I'll see you on Tuesday, eh? Cheers, fellas. Catch you later. See ya. Ta-ra. Take care.